Melissa and Matt, what has it been like joining the radio station over the past year?
It's so funny because I know that my boss is like, yeah, give us the good and bad. Here's what I would say. If you would have asked me, like, I don't know, 2-3 months after we started, this is probably as fair to say, I would have been like, oh, the bad seemed huge.
Right.
And now the bad seems smaller and the good seems bigger. Okay. But what I think I found, and I came from secular radio, so I've done country and rock and pop and all of that. When somebody in Christian radio doesn't like what you have to say, it is the nastiest email. It is the nastiest shaming that I've ever gotten. And it's mean-spirited.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect that with Christian radio. I thought, okay, people are going to be tolerant and they're going to be loving and kind and open, and we're going to accept each other where we are. And what God has shown me is that's become our mission statement for this show. And the cool thing is people are starting to get it. And that's the good. We had this guy on with us the other day, and he said, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for having the conversations that you do on this show. Thank you for being open. And I thought, wow, that's it, man. He gets it. You know, we have the conversations that you're not going to hear anywhere else. You know, we can talk about what President Obama said when he stated his definition of marriage, and we can have a real talk about that. We can talk about bullying. We can talk about all these things and go to a level that you can't do with secular radio.
Yeah.
That's the good. And that's what so outweighs the bad. Because, yeah, the judgmental part of Christian radio, and I'm not talking about management because management's been great, but listener-wise, shocked me. It really did surprise me, and it still does, because when you get a nasty email, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it hurts.
Yeah, and a lot of times people send a nasty email and they heard this much of a comment or a show and they just reacted, and that's difficult.
You know, for me, Melissa and I have never actually worked together before this show, and so I love this radio station, and I love being a part of this team. With Melissa and she reminds me so much of my sister. So it's that idea of like, it's so much fun to be around Melissa. And I've just watched as, you know, God has used the show in weird ways that we would have never expected, where people are totally blessed by the show. That's exciting to me. I've watched our interaction change totally. And I just see this amazing love coming from the show, coming from Melissa, coming from myself sometimes even, surprise. But it's the idea of the show has been the biggest thing for me when it comes to this radio station. I have seen the lives changed by not necessarily the show, but the radio station in general. That has been huge in us as well, because we're just watching people, you know, give up things and come to us and go like, oh man, I was just crazy. It was a crazy salvation story. And, you know, obviously, as I mentioned before, I'm kind of the crier. So like that really hits me strong. So that's what I love about being part of this radio.